Subscribe!
In a quiet corner of the universe, so far away that no telescope could ever see it, there floated a tiny, glowing planet called Lullaby. It shimmered softly, like a single pearl resting in a vast bowl of ink-dark space. On Lullaby lived the smallest, roundest, and most curious creatures you could ever imagine, the alien cubs. They weren't much taller than a stack of your favorite books, and were as soft as freshly toasted marshmallows. Their skin was incredible. It shimmered in beautiful pastel colors that changed depending on how they felt. When they were happy, they glowed a lovely shade of pink. When they were excited, they would sparkle a brilliant blue. And when they were hungry, well, they'd flicker a bright, sunny yellow. And oh, were they hungry? The alien cubs loved food more than anything else in the entire galaxy. They adored stardust cupcakes, moonberry jelly, and pies filled with comet cream. But out of all the magical treats the universe had to offer, there was one food they treasured above all others: spring rolls. But these weren't just any spring rolls. They were the legendary golden glow spring rolls from the floating market of Zingara Cloud. Every spring on Lullaby, a special wind would blow, carrying a sweet, crispy aroma all across the skies. It would swirl through forests of crystal trees and dance over lakes that shimmered like rainbows. The very moment that delicious scent reached the alien cubs' village, their tiny antennas would start to wiggle wildly. Spring roll season, squealed a tiny cub named Maiko, her big, sparkling eyes wide with delight. Maiko had sky blue skin and a heart as warm as sunshine. She loved adventures almost as much as she loved food. Her best friends, Bobo and Lala, quickly rushed to her side. Bobo was round and full of giggles, glowing a bright orange whenever he laughed. Lala had soft lavender fur and tiny silver wings that fluttered whenever she got excited. "Let's go before they run out," Bobo said, bouncing so high he almost did a somersault. And with that, the three friends raced towards Zingara Cloud. It was a magical, floating marketplace where food stalls hovered in the air like giant, colorful bubbles. Lanterns made of pure starlight twinkled high above, and cheerful music seemed to drift from invisible instruments all around them. Right in the center of the market stood the most famous stall of all, Master Zun's golden glow spring rolls. Master Zun was a mysterious figure, not quite an alien, and not quite a wizard. He had a long, silver beard that shimmered like frost on a winter morning, and eyes that sparkled like distant galaxies. His spring rolls were no ordinary food. They were crafted from shimmer leaf cabbage, carrots made of crystal, and sweet, glowing sun corn, all wrapped in a whisper-thin golden pastry. But the most magical ingredient of all was the heart spice, a glowing powder said to be made from pure kindness. When Master Zun fried the rolls, they didn't just sizzle, they sang. A soft, musical hum would float through the air, and the rolls themselves would begin to glow warmly, like tiny, delicious suns. The alien cubs lined up eagerly, their tummies rumbling. "One for me," shouted Bobo. "Two for sharing," said Lala, her wings fluttering with anticipation. "And three for research," Maiko added with a very serious look on her face. Master Zun chuckled warmly and handed them a box tied with a ribbon made of light. The cubs floated to the edge of the cloud and sat down together. Below them, their beautiful planet shimmered like a dream. Maiko carefully picked up a spring roll. It was warm and glowing gently in her hands. She took a small bite. Crunch. The sound was magical. The flavor exploded like fireworks in her mouth. It was sweet, savory, and sparkling all at the same time. The wonderful glow spread from her cheeks all the way down to her toes. Her skin turned a bright, happy pink. "Happy," she squealed with joy. Bobo stuffed half a roll into his mouth and immediately began giggling uncontrollably. Tiny sparkles popped all around him like little glitter bubbles. Lala closed her eyes as she chewed, her tiny wings fluttering faster and faster. "These are the best ones ever," she whispered dreamily. But just as they were about to take another bite, something strange happened. The beautiful glow of the spring rolls flickered, then it dimmed, and then it went out completely. The happy music in the market stopped. The starlight lanterns trembled. Master Zun looked down at his wok, a worried expression on his face. "The heart spice," he murmured. "It's fading." The cubs gasped. Without the heart spice, the spring rolls would be just ordinary. They might still be tasty, but they would no longer be magical, and spring roll season would lose its special glow. Maiko, full of courage, stood up bravely. "Where does the heart spice come from?" she asked. Master Zun pointed toward the edge of Lullaby, where a shimmering forest of crystal trees sparkled in the distance. "It grows from the kindness blossom," he said softly. "But the blossom only blooms when hearts are truly kind." Lately, the forest has been quiet. The cubs looked at each other. They remembered how some of the villagers had been arguing about whose turn it was to collect moonwater. They remembered how a few cubs had refused to share their star candies just last week. Maybe the glow wasn't fading by accident. Maybe it was fading because kindness was. "We'll fix it," Bobo declared, even though he still had a few crumbs on his cheeks. So the three friends flew straight toward the crystal forest. As they entered, the trees chimed gently in the wind. In the very center of the forest stood the kindness blossom, a tall, glowing flower with petals made of pure light. But it was barely glowing at all. Maiko stepped forward. "What do we do?" Lala thought for a moment. "Maybe we just start by being kind." So they did. They began by picking up fallen crystal branches and stacking them neatly. They helped a tiny snail-like creature who had gotten stuck under a leaf. Bobo even gave the very last piece of his spring roll to a shy little cub who was hiding behind a tree. At first, nothing happened. But then, the kindness blossom flickered. Maiko felt a warmth spread in her chest. She turned to her friends and gave them a tight hug. "You're the best friends in the entire universe," she said. Bobo smiled softly instead of his usual big giggle. Lala wrapped her wings around them both. Suddenly, the flower began to glow brighter. Soon, more cubs arrived, drawn by the growing light. When they saw what Maiko and her friends were doing, they started helping too. Some shared their snacks. Others apologized for old arguments. A few even started singing happy songs together. The forest filled with laughter and friendship. The kindness blossom burst into a radiant, brilliant light. Golden dust, the heart spice, floated gently into the air like shimmering snow. Back at Zingara Cloud, Master Zun felt the warmth return and smiled. The next batch of spring rolls he made sizzled and sang louder than ever before. When the cubs returned to the market, the lanterns shone brighter, and the music danced through the sky once again. Master Zun handed them a fresh, glowing box. "These," he said with a twinkle in his eye, "are powered by your kindness." Maiko took a bite. Crunch. But this time, the flavor felt even richer, even more wonderful, because it wasn't just made of shimmer leaf and crystal carrots. It was made of sharing, of helping, of friendship. Bobo laughed, not a loud giggle, but a warm, happy chuckle. Lala's wings shimmered like pure moonlight. And across the entire tiny, glowing planet of Lullaby, every single alien cub's skin sparkled with a soft, pink joy. From that day on, they all understood something truly magical. The spring rolls glowed not because of secret spices or ancient wizard recipes. They glowed because of kind hearts. And every spring, when that sweet, crispy aroma drifted across the skies, the alien cubs would smile, knowing that as long as they cared for one another, their favorite spring rolls would always shine like little golden stars. Thanks for watching our story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe for more magical adventures. See you next time. Spring returned to the glowing planet of Lullaby, and once again, the air filled with the warm, crispy scent of golden glow spring rolls from the floating market of Zingara Cloud. The alien cubs were ready. Maiko's sky blue skin shimmered softly. Bobo bounced with happy energy. Lala's silver wings fluttered like tiny moons. But this spring felt different. The sky above Lullaby shimmered with strange silver clouds that hadn't been there before. They weren't dark or stormy, just quiet and swirling, like they were listening. At the floating market, Master Zun stood beside his stall. His silver beard sparkled as always, and the spring roll sang beautifully in the pan. Crunch sizzle hum. The cubs cheered. But when Maiko picked up her spring roll, she noticed something unusual. It glowed, but the light was softer, pale, almost shy. Master Zun, she asked gently, why is the glow different? The old cook's eyes sparkled thoughtfully. The heart spice is strong, he said, but something new is in the air, something that tests hearts in a different way. Just then, a soft whisper floated across the sky. Share or lose. The cubs froze. The silver clouds above them rippled like silk in water. From the center of the sky drifted a shape not scary, not loud but mysterious. It looked like a shadow made of starlight. The market grew quiet. Who are you? Lala called bravely. The shadow shimmered and spoke in a soft echoing voice. I am the whispering shade. I do not steal. I do not break. I only reveal. Reveal what? Bobo asked, his orange glow flickering nervously. The whispering shade floated lower. What lives inside hearts? Suddenly, every spring roll in the market lifted gently into the air. They hovered above their owners, glowing faintly. The whispering shade whispered again, only those who truly share will keep the glow. The cubs gasped. Maiko looked at her roll. She loved spring rolls more than anything. Her tummy rumbled. But she remembered the kindness blossom. She remembered how sharing had saved the glow before. She turned to Bobo and Lala. Let's share, she said softly. Bobo hesitated. But what if I'm still hungry? Lala placed a wing on his shoulder. Maybe sharing fills you in a different way. Around them, other cubs clutched their spring rolls tightly. Some looked confused. Some looked worried. One cub named Zizi shouted, "It's mine." I waited in line. Her spring roll flickered. Maiko gently broke her roll into 3 pieces. One for me, she said. One for Bobo. One for Lala. They each took a bite at the same time. Crunch. Their pieces glowed brighter than before. The whispering shade shimmered. More cubs noticed. Slowly, nervously, they began sharing too. Some traded bites. Some split rolls evenly. Some even gave their entire roll to a smaller cub who had arrived late. Every shared roll grew brighter. The ones held tightly dimmed. Zizi stared at her fading roll. Her eyes filled with tears. I just didn't want to miss out, she whispered. Maiko walked over and held out a glowing piece of hers. You won't miss out, she said kindly. There's always enough when we share. Zizi hesitated, then accepted the piece. When she took a bite, her roll flared back to life brighter than ever. The silver clouds above began to sparkle like glitter. The whispering shade's voice softened. Kindness learned once is beautiful. Kindness chosen again is powerful. The shadow slowly dissolved into thousands of tiny silver lights that rained gently over the market like blessings. Master Zun smiled knowingly. From his pan, a new batch of spring rolls rose into the air. But these were different. They were wrapped in shimmering silver pastry, glowing softly like moonlight. The silver spring rolls, he announced, made from heart spice strengthened by choice. Maiko held one carefully. It felt warm but not hot, gentle, calm. When she took a bite, it tasted slightly different from the golden ones. Less sweet, more comforting, like a hug. Bobo blinked in surprise. It tastes like friendship. Lala smiled. It tastes like understanding. Master Zun nodded. Golden glow comes from shared happiness. Silver glow comes from tested hearts. The cubs looked at each other proudly. This time, they didn't wait for a test. They automatically broke their rolls into pieces and shared. The market filled with laughter again. The music returned. Lanterns danced brighter than ever before. And high above Lullaby, the silver clouds transformed into shimmering ribbons of light, weaving across the sky like a promise. That night, the kindness blossom in the crystal forest bloomed in 2 colors, gold and silver, glowing together in harmony. Maiko lay on the grass beside her friends. Do you think the whispering shade will return? Bobo asked. May, Lala said thoughtfully. But maybe that's not scary. Maiko looked up at the glowing sky. If it does, she whispered, we'll be ready. Because kindness isn't just something we discover once. It's something we choose again and again. Their skin shimmered softly, not just pink or orange or lavender, but a beautiful blend of gold and silver light. And from that spring onward, The Alien Cub's favorite food wasn't just golden glow spring rolls. It was the magical reminder hidden inside every crunchy bite. Sharing makes sweetness stronger.